Farrell on it again, deep one around the back, Quinn there's the Frenchman goal! It's Andrew Quinn, the underdogs bare their teeth and show their fight in this cup final. Drogheda United strike first.
Welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, a Drogheda United fans podcast, proudly sponsored by the Coffee Box.
Hello and welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, episode number 23, season 2. And I'm joined by Owen and Richie once more. How are we, gentlemen?
Yeah, very good, lads.
Yeah, all good.
One of these days you'll go absolutely shy.
No. We're always in good form.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, not sure where to start with this one, boys. That was, I suppose, as usual, it was a game, two halves. Crazy game. Lots of talking points. Yeah, Richie, you made the trip over. What was your initial thoughts?
Yeah, no, look, as you said, definitely a game of two halves. It was, we still haven't put 90 minutes together yet, have we, in the league?
No. It's cat.
Yeah, now, in saying that, we got off to a great start. I thought we started really brightly. Obviously went 1-0 up. But, in saying that, the 2 goals Sligo got, I know some people were saying we stood off, but I thought they were 2 good goals. Sligo a good team, lads. I know the bottom of the table, but they're a good fucking team.
Yeah, I thought they were well worked goals as well.
Yeah, weren't they on?
It wasn't like us making a mistake that kind of led to the goals. It was just 2 well worked goals.
Yeah, when you look back on them again, which obviously we all did, but
lads, come on the fuck. I think it was the second goal. Agbaje and Bucknor were just passengers. What was going on there? There was no pressure on the man. They were nowhere near him. He just walked in between them.
For the second goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, maybe you have a point for that, but the first goal now, they sort of knocked it through us, around us, and it was a good ball down the side, and it was a great finish, the first goal.
It was a lovely little through ball. I'll give you that, but there's no way we can defend like we defended for the second goal. Again, it was a well-walked goal. No, hold on. The second goal was the ball in, wasn't it, from the wing?
From the side, yeah. And they sort of went across the 6-yard box, they just tapped it home.
Yeah, because the 2 boys were just stood there looking around them.
Yeah,
that was poor.
Yeah, but sort of the build-up to it, they did keep the ball and they were keeping possession.
They're good at doing that. They're renowned for it, aren't they?
Very good. I was very impressed with them, I have to say. But we always just seem to do that, don't we? We go 1-0 up and then we just... And I don't know, I don't think it's coming from Doherty. I don't think it's coming from tactics. They just seem to sit back. No matter what minute of the game it is. This was so bad in the game, we were 1-0 up. And then all of a sudden we just sit back.
Doherty was going bananas over it.
Yeah. I just don't get it, so I don't.
No. Yeah, look, again, it's so frustrating. I mean, we started well. Sligo started well too. I mean, it was pretty much an even Stevens up until we scored. And we scored a lovely walk goal. Great to see Alua on the score sheet. I think he deserves that. Nice little ball in. I think it was Conor Kane. There was bits of half chances and that after that and all that. It was another 10 minutes before I think Sligo really started to dominate. They were just cutting through us. The midfield just disappeared, lads. And I know he's getting an awful lot of stick, but Kavanagh was anonymous. It just wasn't happening for him. And I mean, even when he had a chance from the dead ball, it was poor from him. And I think we were laughing saying he can be the new scapegoat now. People were impressed with Alua and we can start picking on Kavanagh, but he didn't have a great game. I can go through the team in the first half. I think Bucknor was poor as well, and Agbaje looked shaky to me. Conor Keeley again as well. He loves throwing the hands up and blaming other people, but he wasn't very. I don't know. We just weren't very commanding.
No, it's like on the midfield, like I actually called it like when we were down there, like just talking one or two of the lads. I said you could nearly take three of them off in midfield, Cavan, Brennan, and Shane. It just wasn't working.
No.
Like everything was coming right through the middle, so I was, and like it just. I don't know what it was. Like, you usually get one of them that maybe not clicking, but the three of them, it just wasn't happening for them. You did make change at half time, obviously.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But like again, going away to Sligo, bottom of the league, they've a new manager and all that, and you're kind of waiting for the kind of bounce back from them. They're going to have a sudden sort of a boost. I think they were okay. Like, I mean, I don't think we weren't dominating or anything, but we did go and score a goal. And somewhere deep in the mind of the players, they're probably thinking, right, we're after going 1-0 up. Let's just hold what we have type of attitude. And I get that to a degree. But, man, we had none of the ball. We just let them completely dominate the ball after that. And what are we expecting when we do that? I really don't get it. And I do think you're right about the three lads in the middle. There just didn't seem to be an awful lot of energy. There was no one demanding the ball. There was no one getting on it and linking up the play between the back four and the lads up top, and it just wasn't working for us. It was some of the poorest football we've played in a long time.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Owen?
I don't think it was as bad as you're making it out to be, Greg. Like, Sligo got a spell of about 20 odd minutes or so after they scored the first one. And again, they lot of the ball, but again, Denison fuck all saves to make. And second half we were a lot better. We had a lot more of the ball and stuff. So the changes made it. But I don't think it's as bad as you're making it out to be, Greg.
Yeah, we'll talk about the second half and the positive zone. But after we scored, you telling me that wasn't so bad? It was fucking awful, man.
I think it's not as bad as you're making it out to be. Like Sligo had a good spell, but
I watched it again there earlier, and I thought it was as bad as I thought on Saturday night. We offered nothing after we scored. We just completely went into our shell, and they dominated us. In my opinion, you obviously didn't think it was that bad.
They dominated. Yeah, they did a spell about 20 odd minutes or so. But again, how many saves did Denison have to pull off after that?
My only worry with that would be, Owen, is that 20 minutes they fucking scored two though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They did manage to turn it around, which I found frustrating. Look, as I said, I thought Sligo were good. I being at the game, I thought they were very good. But I just don't get why we have to sit back. Why we keep doing that and invite them on. Yeah,
I don't know, it's just a nervousness thing maybe. I don't know, but especially with the back has been so shaky all year.
Yeah, but do you not think the back line is so shaky because they're dealing with everything? Like they get no protection.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot of it now on Saturday, but
yeah, it's ball after fucking. I mean, rinse and repeat. It's like they never get a breather at our back line. It's constant going for the 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think.
Well, it wasn't Saturday wasn't anyway. The second half did a bit of a breather.
No, yeah, definitely, it definitely changed. But I don't know. I just think we're better than that. I think we are so much better that we don't need to sit back. We don't need to do that.
No, it doesn't work either.
It doesn't work. No, definitely not.
No, I think where my frustration is coming from, it's like an accumulation of various things. But when you go there to the bottom side in the league and you go one up, but somewhere deep down, and I'd say loads of draw of people were watching that game, and yous were at the game, Richie. But I'd say there was fucking loads of other people watching that game thinking, "Oh shit!" As soon as we score, you're going, "Happy days, we've scored." But oh shit. Because you just know what's coming. We always do this And Kevin knows what's coming. He can't tell me he was surprised. He was really annoyed, but you can't tell me he was surprised by the way we reacted to going 1-up. What do we do? It's been the draw away over the last, I don't know how many months. You know what I mean? We sit back. It's just what we do. And I don't mind the whole thing about not having the ball. I'm sick of talking about possession. Mind you, we haven't really been talking about it a lot lately, and I don't care how much of the ball we have and all that. If we go and we get a result, I don't care about that. But we're not going to get results. We're not going to win games away from home, letting the opposition completely dominate us like that. And what we're going to do, we're just going to concede. And I know you're saying Dennison didn't have an awful lot of saves to make. He had 2 big saves to make and he couldn't make them because they scored 2 goals. And I'm not blaming him for them either, but like, if we let teams, after we go 1-up, if we could just sink into our shell and the midfield's totally anonymous, we are putting, as you said, we're putting the back 4, back 5, whatever it is, under massive pressure. We were letting them run down the wings as Sua, pinging balls into the box and all that. I didn't think the quality of the balls that were going in there were that great. I think if we do that against, say, Shamrock Rovers, or if we do that against Bows, or if we do that against fucking Shells away from home, we're going to get fucking battered. So that's what worries me. You go 1-up, you try and keep possession of the fucking ball, and you try and go and get that second goal, kill teams, kill a game. If we had got the second goal against Sligo the other night, I think they would have collapsed. And we didn't. We don't. And it's really, really frustrating. And I agree with you. It's not coming from Kevin. No way. He was screaming his head off at them. Yeah. When they went 1-1, you're thinking, for fuck's sake, here we go, uphill battle. And then 7 minutes later, they go and score another fairly soft goal, lads.
Yeah. It is frustrating. And we always just seem to give teams hope, don't we? Well, was such an easy touch for them at the minute because Sligo knew they were going to get that we were going to retreat and they were going to get chances. And look, they took the 2 of them. But we have to stop doing we have to stop that. We have to get away from that. I don't know how. Well, I know we're probably going to do it in a little while and the changes we made, but it is very frustrating to watch. And as I said, the frustrating part of it is we are better than that. We can go toe to toe with teams. We just don't do it at the minute.
No, well, look, I mean, again, if we go back to the Dundalk game, I'm not going to say it was something similar, but we do go 1 down, and I don't think we played anywhere near as bad in Dundalk in the first half as we did in Sligo after going 1 down. But like, we have to come back. We're giving ourselves mountains to climb. And we've been lucky. I wouldn't say lucky. We've worked really hard over the last 2 league games. Take away the cup game against Luton, because I don't think that really is really relevant here. But, you know, giving ourselves such a mountain to climb. And, you know, thank God over the last 2 games that we've been successful at climbing that bloody mountain, because, you know, we would have been coming out of the showgrounds the other night if we had lost that game 2-1. Absolutely despondent. There was a lot of positives in the second half, and we'll get to them. New bodies coming in and all that, and it gives you a bit of hope. I think for the last 12 games, if certain players can kind of step up like they did the other night, but just to stay on the downer for a few minutes, it's really, really fucking annoying, lads. When are we gonna put in a 90-minute performance on the pitch? Because I think if we can get the right personnel onto the pitch, play like we did in the second half the other night, we're well capable of beating anybody, and well capable of getting ourselves out of this position that we're in.
Yeah, no, agree, 100%. Yeah. Well, as you said, we keep giving ourselves, like, we're always chasing a game. Like, we always have to work so hard to get a result. You know, that way, like 2-1 down, and all of a sudden we decide then to start playing and then go for it. Yeah, bloody chasing it. You should be doing that. Like, as soon as we had 1-0 up, we should have went for the throw. Just went at them again and got our second goal, you know?
Yeah, you should have, but there's then you'd have people saying, say if we tried that and then concede one, saying, you should have kind of shut up shop for a bit. But Bit of a double-edged sword, like.
Yeah, I know, and you will get that on. You'll always get lads like that, but I don't think any fan would complain if you were going all out attack, would they? And you were going for a game and you're trying.
Actually, you would, sure, fucking people complain about everything.
Well, yeah, look, we'll always get that. I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't. I'd like to see it, like, if you go and you're bet and you say, well, look, we fucking had a good go at that game and we played really well, we dominated the ball and we had so many chances, but we were bet. That's the way it goes, but this just sitting back and inviting pressure on.
Like, Richie, sorry for interrupting you, but like against Bows in the second half, we were bet, but we went for it.
Went for it, yeah, and it was you could take the positives out of it, you know. But like, and then all of a sudden, as I said already, like, we're just inviting all this pressure on. We step back, we give teams that hope, and all of a sudden, then everybody's like, "Oh, the back line is this. He did this and he did that." Like, fuck me, it's hard to defend for 90 minutes, lads. It's near enough impossible to defend for 90 minutes.
Yeah, look, and without like oversimplifying the whole thing, like the cliche is that like fucking offense is the best fucking form of defense. You know what I mean? If you have the ball and you're trying and you're putting the opposition under loads of pressure, they're not going to have the opportunities that they had the other night.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And it really is that simple. But we have a history now, and you're looking around that team and you're going, where was our captain? Where's our vice captain, Keeley? Where was Ryan Brennan? Where was the senior lads in that team that once we scored and we went one up? Where was the voices? Where were the people shouting their fucking asses off at everybody to, you know, tighten this up, lads, you know, keep the ball, do the things that you're taught to do as a kid. Like, you just didn't see it. We just seemed to go into our shell. And we've done that so many times this year that's where my frustration's coming from. It's like, didn't seem to be an awful lot of leaders on the pitch.
Yeah, and like last season now, like I said one of the boys, like last season, if we had went 1-0 up, like, we would have fucking been so hard to break down, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Actually, so I don't want to interrupt you, Richard, but just to say, and right, I'm probably going back on what I said a minute ago, but what we would have done last year was we would have defended for our lives, and then we would have got teams on the break, and teams would have been afraid of their lives to concede one to draw out of, because they know they're going to have a serious hard time getting back into it. It's not like that now. Teams know, wait, these boys are leaky. These boys are shitting themselves. We're going to have chances. Sorry to interrupt, John. You were going to say something?
No,
you were. You started saying something there. Come on, what were you going to say?
No, it wasn't on it, no.
No, but like, yeah, right, Greg. So like, we're just like, we are a soft touch, aren't we? Still, now we were soft touch in the first half. Now I know we've gone to the second half in a minute or two, but we as I said, we have to get out of that. We have to be more brave. I spoke with this before. As a team, we have to be more brave.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. We just have to start, and I know again oversimplifying it, but we have to start playing for 90 minutes, and that probably leads us onto the more positive things. If we can get the personnel onto the pitch, everyone fit, I think we do have an 11 that can start games the way we've been sort of coming into games in the second half over the last while. If we can start games like that, get ahead, but don't go into our shells and don't sink back and let teams come on to us, because that's our downfall, and it has been for a while. So yeah, I mean, he made an immediate change at half time. He took Kavanagh off. It just wasn't working for him. It just wasn't happening.
What do you think the problem is with Kavanagh, lads?
I don't know.
I don't think he's been overall this season. He's been bad, as some people are saying. Like,
no, I don't think
5 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah.
Like, people giving out about his set pieces, but like a lot of them assists have come from his deliveries. Like, he had some poor ones, but he had a couple of decent ones as well. Yeah, it just wasn't his night.
No.
But look, it wasn't the only one. He wasn't getting much help beside him either in midfield, was he?
Yeah, no, I do like him, lads. I have to say, I'm going to defend him. Like, I don't think he's been as bad as people are making out online. I really don't. But I just don't think the system's not working. I don't know if it's the two midfielders that he's playing with. He always seems to have to work so hard to get the ball himself, to do something with it, where he shouldn't be doing that. He should be just finding little pockets of space in that number 10 role and creating stuff for us.
Yeah, he probably used to come deep too much as well, which doesn't suit him.
I don't know what it is, but I don't think he's been as bad as people are making out.
No, I'd agree with you on that, yeah.
So, like, I mean, the ideal scenario for him is that he's pushing on. He wants to be sort of linking the play and in behind the number 9 or wherever. Like, that's where he wants to be. He doesn't want to be running back, trying to take the ball off centre halves and all that. Like, obviously, there's going to be an element of that in the game for all of them, but we want him pushed on. Is that's where we need him to be, isn't it?
I think so. I think so.
And is that where naturally you feel that he wants to be? Where does he want to be? Because sometimes I can't walk out. Is it that he has to be sort of tracking back and he's all over the place and he puts in some serious fucking mileage in a game? You can't deny that. Like, there's no lack of effort with him. Sometimes it feels like there's a little bit of lack of quality. And then sometimes you're looking at him thinking, this guy is serious quality. Before he came in, I was thinking, well, he's a great replacement for Markey. He's really good on the ball. He can pick a pass. He has played in teams that play a lot more football than Drogheda do. Let's face that. You know what I mean? And he was good there. Like, I know there was Pat's people that were some of them were kind of happy to see him go, and some of them were saying he'll be missed. He was a great player for us and just didn't get a chance. But, I think of the set pieces thing with him as well. As you said, Owen, some of them are really good and some of them are really bad, but that goes for everyone. Shane Farrell was getting absolutely dogs abuse for his set pieces there for a while. But what annoys me is if the two of them are on the pitch at the same time, vary it up. It doesn't have to be the same player taking the same, like, the corners and free kicks all the time. You look around you, like Bows have 2, 3, 4, 5 lads that are really good at set pieces. And you don't know who's going to take them sometimes. It could be Flores, it could be Rooney, it could be, you know what I mean? It could be, take your pick, it could be any of them. Like,
yeah.
Why don't we do that? Why does it always have to be, right, when Kavanagh's on the pitch, it's him. Or when he goes off and it's Farrell on the pitch, it's always Farrell. I know Warren took a corner the other night and all that, but like it's nice to have a bit of variety with lads that can ping a ball into the box. It doesn't always have to be the same fella.
No, definitely not. No, yeah, and look, definitely you're 100% right on the free kicks. Like, he's not going to pinpoint every one of them onto somebody's head. It just doesn't work like that. But I think now with the new midfielder we have in, I think we might see the best of Kavanagh. I might just give him a bit more freedom.
Okay. Yeah, look, we will get to that anyway. So Kavanagh gets taken off and the new signing Bates comes on, and without overblowing it, I really felt like his presence kind of just changed. It changed their approach. And I know it's not just him, because I know Kevin had an absolute swing at them at half time, but it was a really good substitution. And I suppose it was a little bit of a risky one as well, because he hasn't really played any football since April. Fitness is a fitness thing and all that, but he didn't look like he was lacking any fitness, and he certainly didn't look like he was lacking the kind of passion and energy that we were definitely lacking. He wasn't, because he changed that game for us, lads.
He did, yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, could you hear him on the telly?
Yeah,
one thing I noticed straight away is he, literally, for lads to come into the club, you could see him start pointing, and like, say if he passed the ball, he's looking over his shoulder, he's pointing to someone to move up or move, or like, that's a lad that's only joined that dressing room, and he's already telling, which we actually haven't seen a lot of this year from other players, kind of dictating where the rest of the lads should be and stuff, which is good to see. He's very impressive for his second half.
literally, lads, as soon as he come onto the pitch, literally, they hadn't even tipped off, and he was shouting at lads.
That's my point, boys, about the leadership thing on the pitch. We were really lacking that until he came on. He was bollocking people out of it. Probably doesn't even know their names yet. And he was roaring.
He probably lives with some of them. I'm sure he knows their names.
Yeah.
I'm sure he might have forgot one or two on you. Fucking hell.
Well, he was straight on it. He was straight, like, he'd pass the ball to, like, Abaji, and straight away telling him, come up with it, like, you know what I mean? And as you said, and telling lads where to go, and he just reminds you of Gary Deegan when we had Gary Deegan in the team.
Yeah, that's been said.
He reminds me of Keith Cowan with the hair, anyway.
That's right. Yeah, but he just seems like a bag of energy. He's just, and I tell you something, he can play football. He is so good on the ball.
Yeah, you see, like, I know Kevin was a bit reticent about the whole Deegan comparison because we've only seen 47 minutes of the man, but you have to say that, like, for a debut for a new club, and he's only been in the country a matter of 2 or 3 days before, it was a superb performance. And if that's a sign of what's to come, and more fit, another week's training, get to know the lads a little bit more, and get some more minutes under his belt, and that, like, he's going to be absolutely fucking vital for us if we want to push up the table and get away from the sort of mess that's down there. Like, and the Deegan comparison, I suppose the only difference to a degree is that he was really wanting to push forward and getting into space to receive the ball. I'm not saying Deegan didn't do that. He did that a lot, but he did have a bit of a thing where, you know, if Deegan's getting the ball, he's going to have his back to the goal, and he's going to keep the ball, which was great. But he did have a pass the ball backwards thing about him a lot, where your man didn't seem to want to do that. He definitely seemed to want to go forward.
Yeah, no, there was one pass, he pinged the ball out to Kane on the left.
Yeah.
It was a serious ball out, you know, now look, I know it's simple enough, people say, it was just one pass, but the way he switched it.
Kane couldn't keep it in, the ball ended up going out, but it was a great ball.
It was, yeah. But then, like, also then allowed Shane Farrell to play a little bit further up.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden you're pushing bodies forward instead of back. So that's what I mean by Kavanagh. I think like Kavanagh's in the team with him there. You can say, right, well, he's there. I don't need to be going in there looking for the ball. I can just float around. You know.
So you're thinking, like, obviously if Farrell doesn't play and Kavanagh does, you've got Kavanagh pushed up a lot more, and Bates kind of doing that hold and roll and linking up the play really well. Yeah, like, definitely, lads. He showed some serious promise.
I was very impressed with him. Everybody was.
You couldn't help not be. I mean, he didn't do it single-handedly, but the game changed from the second half. I know Sligo had their moments here and there, but we more or less dominated that entire second half. We were the only team that really looked like we were sort of pushing on.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. And I think one of the Sligo commentators, one of the interviews after the game even mentioned them, that when he come on, he took the game with a scruff of the neck and changed the game. Like, you know, he really did.
Yeah, the co-commentator seemed to know a bit about him, saying he was with Tamworth and what kind of a player he was and all that. He seems to have done his homework, and he was very, very impressed with him. His first 5 or 6 minutes, he said he's really sort of making a mark on this game. The other couple of subs, there was 3 other substitutions. It was great to see. We've been looking for this for a long time. Great to see Warren Davis back into the team. He definitely made his mark as well. I thought he looked bright and getting on the ball, and he's just a threat, isn't he?
He's just so direct.
Yeah, running at people. Superb. And but the other 2 was Anselin coming on and Jago Godden as well. I think he made an impact, big and tall and strong and getting on the ball. He had a good chance as well. I think with a header in the box went wide, but we just look so much more threatening with those 4 lads on the pitch. And, you know, I'm not saying they're going to start the game on Friday against Rovers, but you'd be looking over the next few weeks when we're getting these lads back. And I'm not sure what the crack is with Ethan O'Brien, but it gives us good options.
Yeah, and Quinn and Cruz as well.
And Quinn,
Yeah, Kev said in his interview that Quinn and Cruz should be back soon.
Yeah.
And Cruiser as well. I'd nearly forgotten about him, and I think he was playing really well before he got injured, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. It's just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, it was. But you could just even see, like, in the second half, when we were playing higher up the pitch, it allowed a back three or back two, wherever we had, say, to have to push up and to have a bit more, like, they could defend higher up the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, there's nothing worse than defending on your fucking 18-yard line, you know, like you miss a header or you take a swing at it. I mean, it is nervy, it can be nervy.
Yeah,
You're just higher up the pitch, you know, you're a bit more.
Mm.
It's just more. I think they're more comfortable.
Especially like going away from home like that, putting in that kind of performance in the second half away from home in somewhere like Sligo, which is a notoriously difficult place to go. Not just for us. I mean, they've beaten big teams this year. Like as you said, Richie, they're a decent side. I mean, they are lacking in certain positions, and I think. Am I right in saying that they've scored the least amount of goals in the league, and we've scored the second least amount of goals in the league? Somebody mentioned that the other night. Is that? I'm not asking you to go and check that stat, but does that sound right to you?
Actually, I have it here. So Sligo scored 22. Then, we're next with 31. Then there's Galway, Derry at 32. Waterford scored 33. Like, so they're all kind of bunched together in terms of goal scoring. Like, so, like that could easily change in a couple of games. Like.
But Sligo are fairly cut adrift there. They've scored 8 or 9 less than us. Like that's poor.
Yeah, but they have scored in their last few games. Like
2 against us and 2 against Galway the week before.
Yeah, 1 against Rovers, 2 against Shells. Like so,
right.
Kavanagh's found the net a few times recently.
Yeah, he is a good player, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
But he is at the moment.
Yeah, he's physical.
Yeah, he was. The Sligo fans hated him at the start of the year. Like.
Did they, yeah?
Yeah, they just weren't happy with him.
Right, okay.
He wasn't doing it, Richie.
No, I think Shell's needed a late goal down there as well this season.
Yeah.
To get drunk.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's 2-0.
So, like, it's not to be sniffed at either.
No, we
Again,
all
the
know.
point wasn't the worst result there.
No.
No, it wasn't. No, absolutely not. Look, in hindsight and all that, a draw in Sligo was a draw in Sligo, especially for us. We haven't won there in 5 years or something like that. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers, but it's the manner of how it happened. And when you go 1 up and then you can see 2 goals in 7 minutes and you just go into your shell and then you come out in the second half and I wouldn't say we fucking battered them, but we kind of threw the kitchen sink at them for a while, and we'll get to the fucking contentious moment in the game shortly. But like, I don't know. How did you feel leaving the ground, Richie, on Friday? Was it a sense Saturday? Was it a sense of relief from the draw the fans, or were people happy?
Oh yeah, no, it was. And as I was saying to you earlier on before we come on here, like, it was a good crowd from Drogheda down that. It was a decent crowd, so I was very impressed. Yeah, no, look, it was one of them games, you go 1-0 up, obviously, it was good, 2-1 down, and then they're chasing the game. And then, like, about, like, a half an hour to go, we actually start talking about that, like, Jesus, a point to be good now, lads. And then, going on and on, but it felt like we won the game.
Yeah.
It felt like we won, that we got 3 points. Good atmosphere, the crowd was out, Doherty was over, the players were over, they were all fairly buzzing. So they all seemed happy enough with it, you know.
Right, I suppose the elephant in the room, lads, and I have looked at this, I'd say 15 or 20 times over the last 48 hours, the disallowed goal. I'll ask you, I'll go with you on first. What's your thoughts on that?
That was a fucking joke, basically. I don't know how he could be offside like that. Someone was saying, "Oh, he was behind the goalkeeper," but Sargent looked like he was basically on his line, and Bates was the other side of Esser, so he couldn't have been offside. Like it's so frustrating as well. Like we've had some really, really big decisions go against us this season, like the Waterford penalty been won, like. And because they're tight the league as well, these decisions are costing you points, like, and they could end up fucking relegating you if things were bad enough, like.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that at all. Richie, what was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I actually thought he gave a free kick out for a foul. It was only like as the start of a minute or two went on, so we said he actually gave that for offside. You know, like I could like. Now, look, it was hard to see, obviously, when we were there. Like, it was only when we got home later on that night to look at it. But, yeah, when you look back on it, like, what the fuck, lads?
In fairness, though, Richie, it's still really hard to see. Even looking at that, and I was rewinding it on the yellow white TV and pausing it and all that, but there's no way the lads were behind the keeper. There's not a fucking chance in hell. He was on his line. And they were just to the left of him, and if anything, they were slightly in front of him. But if anything, they were in line with him. There's no way they were behind him, and that's the only way that they can give offside.
Yeah, and like you could see that from looking at a TV angle. Like the linesman should have been right in line with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
And as you said, the free thing though, right? Your man Esua goes down. There's a bit of a kind of a 50-50 lads jostling, and he ends up going down, and you can see him kind of grabs his leg as if to say, oh no, foul. So there's no way that Sligo weren't trying to play him offside or anything like that, but your man Esser goes down and stays down, hoping they'd get a free out. And even the commentator thought, oh no, free out, and it was your man Esser on the ground, and then she realised it was like, oh no, the linesman raised his flag, he's given offside. But how in the name of fuck can your man, like, it's a 50-50 decision, and I always thought that the whole, like, the benefit of the doubt goes with the forward and all that. That's what you taught years ago, but obviously not. Like, I don't know how we gave that decision. I really, really don't. It's a terrible, terrible decision.
Yeah, and Dodge was going mad. He came running straight over to us at the end of the game, and he was all forgiving it about it. And he was nearly pointing at the League of Ireland TV camera, like, and what he did, he was going mad. He was. But it's so frustrating, isn't it? And like, we've had some big, big decisions against us, even last season, the end of last season.
Well, yeah, as Owen just mentioned there a minute ago, like, there's the Waterford one sticks out for this year where we should have got a penalty and didn't, and then they did, cost us massively. And then just before we come on earlier on, you mentioned two from last year was the John Mountney for Bowes. Should have been a straight red card in the last game of the season. Didn't go away. And then we had the cup game last year against Rovers where, that's his face.
Oh, Mandroy,
Yeah, Mandroy red card, tackle from behind, straight red, and we don't get that decision either. I mean, these things stick in the craw, and I know every football fan from every club will probably say the same thing. They can pick out moments, but they're three massive moments that have really, really affected us over the last 12 months. Like, bad.
Yeah, and like, you're on about that tackle in the Rovers game, the cup game. That's exactly what your man got sent off for the other night for Sligo. And
it was nowhere near as bad.
It was nowhere near as bad. So,
no, actually, Lou was lucky he didn't get injured in that, because it could have been a nasty one.
Yeah, but that's the frustrating side of it, isn't it, Owen, when you see that inconsistent, isn't it? It's so frustrating. And of course, though, every fan's going to say, like, oh, we have them all. But them 4 decisions there after talking about, they were big, big decisions in big, big games.
And yeah, can you remember a decision that we got in our favour over the last, say, 12 months that an opposition side would go, oh, do you remember that? At the time to draw the player completely creamed one of our players and got away with it. I honestly don't.
No.
I honestly can't remember a decision that we've got that we all were going, oh, we got away with one there, lads. I really can't, like one or two here and there, but you know, a fucking throw in or that should have went against us that ended up going for us. But I can't remember any kind of big decisions in the game, but I can certainly remember at least 3 that have cost us massively. Like, and that decision the other night, in a game of such magnitude as well, and it was coming towards, what minute was that in? I can't remember now. That was near the 90th, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in around
80 something.
It was around the 90th minute, I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, massive.
But, yeah, but and you know what else was really fucking sick? And that meant we won in that Bowes game, the last game of the season. Bowes went and whipped him off straight away.
Yeah. They knew he was gone.
That's like just telling the ref you fucked up there.
Yeah. Cheers, ref. We're all right, though. We'll take him off now. Replace him.
But there was even one the other night. One of the Sligo players sliced a shot and went out, and it was a goal kick. And one of the Drogheda players didn't anywhere near it, and he gives a corner. Like, imagine if they scored from that corner, like.
Yeah.
Luckily they didn't. But it's just shit like that just really irritates me. Like, none of our players were even close to that ball. The man just sliced the shot.
And even, like, I know we're going back in time here, but that Bowles game, didn't fucking Josh Thomas get sent off for a stupid fucking challenge late on?
Oh, he fucking elbowed your man on the ground. Yeah, he deserved it, but yeah.
The elbow.
That's the last red card we've had.
Right, okay. Look,
I think that was our only red card last year as well.
For something fairly stupid, like.
Yeah. It is just so frustrating how bad the refs are.
Look, and we all know, again, it'd be easy to sit here and just kind of absolutely ridicule refs and linesmen and all that, and we don't. I don't think we do from week to week, lads. We'll call it as we see it, and sometimes refs get small things wrong, and you just go, all right, there's no way that was a corner, that didn't come off our player, or as you just stated on, but that decision the other night, and he was fucking really quick. Your man flag up straight away, goal disallowed, and it was Bates, wasn't it, that ended up putting the ball in the net.
Yeah.
That would have been some debut for him. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. No, and even in his interview, he said, "Oh, look, I'm not going to say anything about it. I don't want to get myself in trouble."
Yeah, he's clever enough, and
yeah. So he knew himself. I think the Sligo players knew themselves as well. They got away with one.
Shouldn't not one Sligo player raised a hand with the offside. There was nothing. None of them.
No. But I just had a feeling though when that happened. I said, "We've another chance in us." I just had that feeling.
Yeah, that's a great point, and this has to be stated as well. There's no, and I think we probably did about 5 or 6 weeks ago. We were questioning. Well, I certainly was. I was kind of questioning the kind of hunger and the mentality a little bit. I was thinking, right, is there something wrong here? Is there something going on off the pitch? Or, is the dressing room a bit, and it's a natural thing to do, I think, when things aren't going well, you're going to start questioning things off the pitch and that as well, even though it's all assumption and hearsay or whatever. But you can't, after that now the other night, there's no way I can question the desire and the want from that side. I could in the first half. Second half, they just showed exactly what we need as a team and what we're going to need for the next 11 games. Just that never say die attitude was just unbelievable, and to come back and score a couple of minutes later to draw the game was just phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and like plenty of teams would have just dropped their heads at that stage. Disallowed goal.
Yeah.
So late in the game and our game's done now, but I just had that feeling the way they were playing. Was brilliant. Yeah, look, you could definitely never doubt that fight.
No, and big fucking props to your man Anselin. I thought he did really, really well to kind of keep hold of that ball out on the left and just square it back in for Farrell. And Farrell took his goal really well. Little dummy and then bang, left foot.
Yeah, well, even if you look back further on, Bucklow did great. Bucklow won the header.
Yeah.
And Elua, everybody's been on about Elua. Like, Elua scored the other night and played a part in that second goal. So, Like, he did really well to keep the ball in play because it was really tight along that sideline over at the dugouts.
Yeah.
Like, and then obviously then up to Keegan, and yeah, brilliant. And he was so calm, wasn't he? He didn't just rush, he didn't just whack it into the box, he picked Shane out. Oh yeah, Shane's that was quality. That's the bit of quality that we were missing. He'd be able to bring it back onto his left foot and then just to finish. Unbelievable.
Yeah, brilliant. And I did sort of panic a little bit myself with your man Ansel, and I thought he was just going to sort of lump it into the box, but he decided not to. He sort of turned back and looked for a player, and then Farrell kind of arriving in late. Absolutely fucking class. Total. I'd say it was bedlam in the stand, Richie, was it?
Yeah, no, I think there was 1 or 2 on the pitch, all right.
It was, yeah.
It was good. Yeah, it was. As I said, it felt like a winner. It felt like we won the game. That sort of celebrations at the end of it.
Yeah, you can't help think though, if the other goal hadn't have been disallowed, like, you know, would we have settled that from there on in for that point? And
yeah,
or would we have gone on and got that third goal like we did? You know, yeah. Look, I suppose it's neither here nor there, but is it a good point, lads, or is it points dropped?
I think it's a good point.
Okay.
yeah. Look, when I was going down Saturday, I was like saying, we need 3 points here. We have to be beating these. But the way the game went, it was a good point.
And the way the other games went as well, Waterford and Galway, point apiece, I suppose. You're as you are now, so there's no real change.
Yeah, and look, we've got Sligo at home, so that's us finished below in Sligo, so we can hopefully beat them at home when we play them, you know.
No, absolutely. Right, so we'll move on, lads. It gets easier now with Shamrock Rovers coming to town on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a handy one.
Yeah.
You just
3-0
know
win easy.
Yeah, you don't know what Rovers is going to show up because they're playing Tuesday night, aren't they?
They are.
You know.
Yeah, big game.
Yeah.
But you don't know travelling for it. It's a home.
Yeah, but they're going to have to go full back, aren't they, on because they're 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they'll obviously have their strongest, but even their second team is still be good enough to cause us a lot of trouble on Friday.
Of course, yeah, but I'd still rather a crack at the fringe players than.
Yeah, hopefully it goes to extra time or something, just tire them out a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, no, look, it's never easy, no matter what Rovers team have out.
Yeah, you would have to kind of look back at the last probably 3 games at least, because you had well, no, I suppose you want to leave that game out where they did a huge big comeback in the European game, didn't they? But they did lose 2-0, and then they bet that crowd in the second leg, and then they played the kind of fringe players against Cork City, and I think Cork City were well in that game. Rovers looked shaky. Rovers have looked shaky all season. Like, I know they gave us a bit of a pasting in Tala and all that, but they're definitely not firing on all cylinders. And that's a really good point. They're playing on Tuesday night, and that game will go to extra time on if it's level after 90 minutes. Is that right?
Yep.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, look, this might be a good opportunity for us here. It might be a good time to be playing them.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, without a doubt. Because like it's going to interrupt that sort of training schedule for the week as well. Because like they're obviously going to play Tuesday. We won't do anything Wednesday. We'll only have a session then Thursday, and then round to us. So it's sort of now. Look, if I say that's going to be a massive difference, probably not, but it does.
They're well used to it, like.
They are well used to own, yeah, but the little bit of routine and like little things like that can go in your favour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he did leave the likes of Graham Burke and all that in the stands for that game against Cork. Like, they weren't even on the bench. I'm not sure he's going to do that. I'm sure he'll have his big guns on the bench, but he might not start them after them playing hopefully 120 minutes, but definitely 90 minutes on the Tuesday. So we have to be going into that game thinking, right, lads, this is an opportunity here. We're at home. Last 45 minutes against Sligo, I suppose. Last 45 minutes against Dundalk away, you're very, very positive. We have new players in the building. We're going to have to go at it. And we're at home here. Like, we know what we can do. If we look back again, we talked about it earlier on, but the cup game against Rovers last year was a great example of, they're always going to dominate the ball, and they're always going to look very, very threatening because it's Shamrock Rovers, and they've huge squad with some serious quality and some serious players and a lot of experience in there. But we have to be going into this game thinking, we're at home here, lads. This is our opportunity. We probably haven't beaten Rovers in United Park in a couple of years. I know we had a couple of great results against them there. We were a bit of a bogey team for them for a while. That seems to have disappeared. But, what way do we approach this game? Can you see them starting the likes of Bates and Anselin, or are we going to kind of stick to the tried and tested and then see how we got on for 45 minutes?
Definitely think Bates starts.
And do you think he will?
Yeah, I think so.
Owen?
So if Kev feels he can get a good 60 or 70 minutes out of him, probably start him, yeah. Now who do you drop though? Do you drop Ryan? Do you drop Kavanagh? Do you drop Farrell? It'd be harsh on dropping Farrell, because he's scored some clutch goals in the last few games.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan come off injured the other night, lads. He might have a knock, so might not have a choice there.
Yeah, if he's a knock, I wouldn't risk him then.
Yeah, and look, I would think, like, you're getting baked in now, it's going to take a bit of pressure off Ryan, because, we can't be dependent on Ryan every week to drag us through. The freedom, give him I always said that, I have no problem Ryan in the team. He always comes in and does a job for you, but I can't depend on him every week. Other lads have to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
And so Bates coming in there now, right, Ryan can take a breather, right, don't need to play on this Friday. Bring him on for the last 20 if you need. Little things like that, Use them that way. But definitely, I wouldn't be dropping him. I think Sean's playing really well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have no qualms about starting Bates. It's just, as we said, he literally is only in the door. We got a good 45 minutes out of him the other night, and he was really, really good. So he looks like the player that we need to start against Rovers. We need somebody demanding the ball, barking at people, trying to organise the team. Because as I said, without repeating it, that's what we lacked in the first 45. Second 45, we were a different team with him in it. And I don't want to be putting too much pressure on his shoulders either, because, hopefully that wasn't some sort of flash in the pan where he just played out of his skin for 45 minutes and then he's not, but he looks like that kind of player. But again, we don't want to be putting too much pressure on him either.
No, definitely.
But we will.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, but look, I don't think so. He's not as if he's only a young kid. He's 25. He's good experience. He's been around a few different teams. He's played
Europe.
You know,
He played European football, didn't he, for the Finnish club that he was with?
Yeah, he's played in Europe. You can just see it in him. I don't think he's the type of player that just shy away from a game, or he's that type of player that will always want the ball, always look for the ball. He'll always talk. He's just one of them players, and that's his style. But we'll definitely know after Friday night, because if we can go and do that again against Rovers Friday night, we've definitely got a player on our hands.
Just on another matter, lads, what do you think that kind of says about the level of the League of Ireland when a lad that hasn't played since April and was playing in the National League for the last 10 months or whatever with Tamworth? I don't know anything about lower league football in England, to be totally honest with you, but what does that say about the level of that league and our league? Owen, I'll let you answer that.
Believe it or not, I've actually been to Tamworth for a game.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Good few years ago. It was FC United were playing, so there were a few of the lads.
Is it that same division that they're in, is it?
They're not, no, not anymore. The Tamworth have gone up, But yeah, I don't remember much of the game now, to be honest, so it wasn't too memorable. But
Where is it, Owen?
Kevin Thornton used to play for them, actually. Sean Thornton's brother.
Oh, right, okay. Where
I
is
think,
Tamworth?
come out near Birmingham, I think.
Midlands.
Yeah, Midlands, yeah. Like, the National League is a good standard, like, not that long ago, Wrexham were in it, like.
Okay.
And the problem with Wrexham was they had a League One squad and playing in the National League, like, so. And you do see teams that go up tend to stay up a lot of the time as well. So like your Stockport and all that, they've gone on again, and Bromley and that, I think Bromley are in League One now. So there is some big clubs at that level. Tamworth wouldn't be one of them now, but it's a decent standard. Like.
So the National League is just below League One?
League Two.
League Two, sorry. Right, yeah. Okay.
And would they be full time? Oh,
I think most of the clubs would be full time, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so, like, they're coming from a professional sort of background.
Yeah. Well, Bates was even, I think he was with Coventry as a young lad, and then he was played for 50 odd games for Walsall, then he went to Finland.
Some of the Walsall crowd had nice things to say about him.
Yeah, and that's strange.
Yeah,
these they're moany fuckers, like.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, look, I think a lot of people would like knock the lower leagues in England. It's like when you go to England, like football's the number one sport over there. Like
it's a massive population.
Massive, yeah. Like they're all good footballers. Like it's not like over here when you're competing with GA and other sports and that. Like football's number one over there, and like them leagues are good leagues. So yeah, like League One and League Two are good. And there's always them teams are coming up and they're from the National League, and they're staying up. They're competing in League One and League Two.
Yeah, sure. I remember my brother lived in Bristol for years, and he played in a sort of a local league in Bristol, and he said that the standard was fucking unbelievable. He said half the squad were all sort of ex-pros that had played in National League, League Two, League One, whatever, and it didn't work out for them for whatever reason, and they'd all gone back to Bristol. But he said like they were all unbelievably fit and really well coached because they'd all played as professionals for years, and you could really see it in them. And that was like a local sort of Bristol league. But he even said that just some of the quality of a lot of the lads that were in that league were unbelievable. Like, so you're dead right. Like, I mean, cause if you look at the sort of, I suppose you can't include the Championship or League One, League Two down. A lot of them are even sort of bringing in players from Europe now, and Brazilians and all sorts of South Americans and all that. And then it pushes sort of English lads down the leagues into the National League. So the quality down there is fucking really high. Like,
it is, and like just on the point you said there, the coaching in English football is top level.
Yeah,
from football up.
Comparison to ours, definitely.
Yeah, no, I definitely think the FEI, the underage system here is getting really good. It's improving every year.
Yeah.
Under 20s and under 17s and that. But no, the English coaching at schoolboy level is serious. So all good football.
Yeah, without doubt. Look, again, we potentially have a proper player on our hands, and I just think his profile and the way he just approached that 45 minutes was just exactly what the doctor ordered for us. And again, people kind of comparing him to Deegan and all that, but Deegan got a lot of flack when he was with us, but he was exactly what we needed, man. He was an old pro with a wise old head on him, not afraid to put in a tackle and throw an elbow at times and scream and bawl at people. And he might not be the most flashiest player that you'll see, or silky skills and all that, but I think we have players like Ethan O'Brien in the team, and lads that can and Buckner and that, skillful players that can take on a man and do all that side of the game. But we need somebody like Bates that can just sit there and control a game, just with a lot of aggression in him and telling players where to be, and getting himself into the box, scoring a goal. I know it was disallowed, but he's just, it feels like And I know it's only 45 minutes and I don't want to get too excited about it, but he just feels like what we need.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, even I don't know if you've seen Kev's interview after the match. He said he sort of smiled and said that he's a very infectious character.
I'd say he is. I'd say he's a good big mouth on him.
Yeah, but he roared the show. He's only a minute on the pitch, so
I know.
good sign.
Yeah. But you know what? You'll probably see him. He'll get the best out of like Shane Farrell, the best out of Ethan O'Brien, Godden, Kavanagh. You know, it might just give them a bit more freedom to play higher up the pitch.
Definitely. And before I forget, just absolutely class to see Warren back on the pitch. So hopefully he can just stay fit and just get himself back into that team and get back into the goals, because it's just a shame a player of his quality is just missing so much football. Two seasons in a row. It's a very similar time for him that he's come back in this year, isn't it, than he did last year?
Yeah. No, and he does, as I said earlier, he gets the ball, and the first thing he's taking on his man or running into the box with it.
Yeah.
And I tell you, he's a powerful lad. He's serious strength, so he has.
Yeah, he definitely has developed, hasn't he, over the last couple of years? He used to look like a kid, but he doesn't look like that anymore.
He was a kid.
Well, yeah, physique-wise, though, he definitely has bulked up, and he looks like he can power past people now.
Yeah, that was great. It was brilliant to see him back. But look, I think that he's a lot more options now. And as I said, like some Bates coming into the team now, another midfielder. Come here, lads, Ryan is still a big part to play in this season. We need his experience these next 11 games. So I wouldn't be just washing Ryan aside either.
No, you're right, though. He does need a bit of time out. I don't think we can expect that 90 minutes the whole time. Even if he starts the game on Friday and then you have Bates to come in, or, you know, I can't see Ryan being called off the bench. He's nearly always the player that we will rely on to start the game.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as I said, his experience is going to be massive. So, but look, I just think it's given Dotley more options. And what do you think of Keegan, the striker?
I think he's done very well so far, yeah. He's involved in the goal and that. Shows some nice touches and good movement, yeah.
Yeah. There's something about him, isn't there? There is something there.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him starting now on Friday. I don't think the game might not suit Doyle if we have to if we're under a bit of pressure and we're pumping the ball up. I think Ansel might do a better job of holding it up than Doyle.
Yeah, I thought Doyle was poor the other night.
It wasn't a great game, yeah.
Yeah, but then as one of the lads beside me was saying, he'd still pop up a goal for you though, do you know that way?
Look, you could even have Anselin up top and put Doyle out on the wing, one of the wings if you wanted to.
Well, now all of a sudden he's got Warren to pick from: Ilua, Doyle, Anselin.
Yeah.
Buckner if he wants. He's serious options down now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what three would you go with now if they're picking a team?
I think Ilua has to stay where he is. I think he's been doing really well.
Yeah, so some people might not agree with you on that one, but I wouldn't.
Well, they can start their own podcast.
Yeah, I don't get what the hate for Ilua is. Like, it's where he was the fucking cause of all our problems, but he's been playing well the last few games. He's got 2 goals, 2 games. Really good finish on Saturday. I'd start Ilua Friday night.
I would.
I'd probably go with Ilua, Anselin and Buckner. See how it goes.
I'd go Ilua, Anselin and Warren.
Yeah, I'd gladly have Warren there as well. I don't know whether do you want to rush him back in?
Yeah, I know. Just
build up his fitness, like that's.
Yeah, definitely. Well, great to have options, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, actually, my head's melted now. I'm trying to think of who we would start. Look, lads, I know who we would or would like to, but can you see Kevin throwing in Anselin at home to Rovers? Because it's not something that he's kind of tends to do over the years when we get new players in. He does like to sort of drip feed players in a little bit, doesn't he? Bring them on at half time, whatever. But mind you, Anselin's 2 games under his belt now.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But look, as I said, good options. I just think we just miss. Like, haven't really seen much from him now. Can he hold the ball up? Is he good at that? Haven't
Yeah.
really seen much of that as yet.
No, it's a good point, because obviously we were on the front foot in the cup game, and then we were on the front foot second half in Sligo. So this is home again. Rovers is going to be a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a lot of the ball, and we need him to do that kind of job, don't we? The big man back the goal, hold the ball in, and bring in the lads off the wings. But look, so we won't know. Are we starting Bates? We go with that. I would too, I think.
Yeah, fucking why not? Yeah.
See how he gets on in training this week and fucking throw him in. Right, lads, we'll go for predictions. We'll start with you as usual, Owen.
I'm gonna say 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw, okay. Richie?
You know what, lads? We're fucking due a win against these fuckers. We're going to win 1-0.
Right, I'm going to also go for a win for the Drogs, but I'm going to say 2-1. I can see Rovers scoring. 2-1 for me. Before we go, do we have facts from Fabrice?
We don't. I don't know what's going on this week.
Oh, fuck. Disappointed.
Yeah,
Maybe he's just home.
Yeah, I think he's coming home today, so he could be on the ferry or something. But he'll have to have an extra long one for us next week.
So we might get him on if he's still at home.
Yeah, he's home for 3 weeks, I think. So yeah, he'll be there Friday.
You said you were going to negotiate the fee and all that.
Yeah, he's playing hardball at the minute, so maybe that's why he's holding out and didn't have his fax this week to us.
Right, okay.
Or to buy him a new fax machine, maybe.
Anything else you want to add, lads, before we go?
Just there's another game on this weekend, and on the Saturday is the charity match between the Ultras and the supporter social groups. That's kicks off at 2:00 in Sullivan and Lamb Park. So the tickets are a $5, and that gets you entry into the raffle as well. There's 56 prizes. Just have to go here.
Wow.
One of the big ones is a €2,500 voucher for Sullivan and Lamb.
Wow.
All sorts of stuff. Yeah,
get a new kitchen.
Vouchers, so yeah, let's get a house first, but
me and you, Richie, can get new kitchens.
Yeah. So that should be good. I always at the game last year, and it was a bit of crack and all that. So and then I think the raffle and all that's gone on, the mother uses after it, so it's an after party.
Oh, after party. Are we going to go on a We Are the Drogs day out, lads?
I have actually a wedding on Saturday. I'm not around.
Go on out of that.
It's not Fabrice getting married again, is it?
That's what he's home for.
He obviously didn't invite you on.
No.
Not after the shit you've been giving him over the last few weeks.
Maybe I'm the bad luck because I was at the first two, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You definitely don't want you at your third wedding.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
It's always a good charity game. Fair play to them.
Yeah. Lots of money for So Sad and Abacus, the two charities this year, so two good worthy local causes.
Is there one of the current players is going to manage one of the sides? Is he Mark Doyle?
Yeah, Mark Doyle is managing. I think he's managing the supporters group. I think, but and then there's a few ex-players playing as well. Like Paul Crowley's playing. Lee Duffy. I can't remember who else, but
Lee Duffy, right? Fucking hell. That sounds like a good crack. I'll probably head up to that. You going to go up to Owen yourself?
Yeah, we'll go up. Yeah, I haven't bought the ticket. I bought a ticket anyway, but yeah, we'll go up. Bit of crack. Share views of some of the players.
Yeah, heckle a few people for a laugh.
Yeah, bit of crack.
Right, good stuff, lads. We shall leave it there, and I'll talk to you next week.
All right, man.
Yeah, talk to you then.
Yeah. Cheers, boys.
Bye.
Bye.